What's up, guys? What's going on? Thanks for checking out another one of my videos. And so today, what I am doing is I'm reviewing my weekly analysis from last week. It's just so that I could track down what I said and also explain a lot of what, like my wins, my losses, what happened, where you would have seen a change of any type of trend or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and get straight into that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll play some. I'm obviously editing this video so that it just is would be shorter. So yeah. All right. So on the DXY, hold on, my bad. So on the DXY, I had mentioned that I expect price to go up for a retracement, and I said that. Let me get my annotating tool up here. Draw. So I have that price was coming up to the 91 area right here. And I was saying that once it gets up here, that I expect it to fall, right? So that's what I had said about the DXY on Sunday, right? So clear all drawings, get rid of annotating. Let's go to the charts now and see what I was saying on the DXY. All right. And so now we come to the present day chart over here. We see that the week started on, what day did the week start? Let me see. So this is where the week started at, right? And I had mentioned that it was going to come up, but what price ended up doing was retracing a little lower. It did drop a little lower before it decided to go up. So now we're still technically really bearish on the daily time frame, but we have started to see the US dollar start to go up, right? And so let me go to the lower time frames and show exactly what has gone on so far. So let me go on the hour time frame first. So on the hour time frame, oops, that's not what I wanted. What day is it? Oh, this is way farther than I wanted to go. What was the 8th? There you go. Okay, so the 8th right here, boom. So on the hour time frame, if I'm not mistaken, this is where I got in for a buy on Euro USD because it was kind of the opposite. Actually, it's not kind of, but let me actually see. No, it was it was right here because I had seen the price bought was calling for the buy on the hour, and then when we came to Sunday, price was still around over here. It was still above the RSI line, so I assumed that price was going to start going up. But then we had the alert to get out of the trade, and so that's when you would have gone out, seen that price would have bought up again, but the RSI placement was a little iffy, so I would have been a little hesitant to get in because price ended up dropping, and then it dropped some more, and then on the 10th, that's when it started to show. It started to try to go bullish. So it broke through the RSI line, dropped down for a fake out just to come back to this little support area right here. And I'll go ahead and draw that out so that people can see it. And so when you see that, what I was like, okay, this is probably where price might end up starting to turn around. It ended up breaking through the RSI line again. It retested the RSI line, then it went bullish. Then it came down to make a higher low to go bullish again. So now, obviously, what I'm expecting, and I'll talk about this later on, is for price to come down and make a higher low and then go bullish one more time. So that's what is going on so far. Because I am happy that price did break through this previous structure right here. Because and for those who have watched Peyton's video, amazing um, market structure video. That's probably like one of the best I've seen because he goes into good detail about it and he uses different time frames. But so you can see that this is a high and then this is the low. Because this is how you be able to identify a trend, right? So this is high, and then this is the low. This is the lower high up here. Then this is the low equal. It's equal to this low right here. Then this is the the lower high equal right here, and then this is the lower low. Then this is technically the lower high, and this is the lower low. Then price. This is if you would have gone in right here, obviously it would have been a little risky because it's like, oh well, it's not. If this is market structure, it'd be risky to get in right here because you don't know that's going to sit around. But with arbitrage, obviously you do know, right? So that's just like he said. Unless you have it, like he said in his video, unless you have an indicator that tells you when the trend is going to change, then it's not. It wouldn't be safe to get into a trade right here, right? And so, like I said, the price broke through the RSI line, retested it, went up. This is the low. This is the high. No, this is not the high because price still didn't break this structure right here, but it did break through this structure. So this is the lower low. I mean, this is the lower high. Once it broke through this structure, that's when you could start seeing that, oh, this is a possible trend change, right? And then so then it came up to right here, and then it needed to break through this structure to go and create a higher high. So now we're in an uptrend on the hourly time frame. So you start right here, broke through this structure. Okay, so now we have this is a low, and then this is the high. This is the higher low, and this is the higher high. Now price is coming to this right here. If price does stop right here, or even comes down to right here, as long as price doesn't break through here, then that would be a higher low, and then price would continue to go up. And again, I'm going to probably post that in my analysis chat because that is an amazing market structure video. Like when you really watch it from, like, you have to, and that's the thing that this is the thing that we're trying to bring. We're trying to bring quality content to you guys because it's being a trader is really doable and you could be successful at it, but you just need to be able to put the work in and understand what you're using, right? So, and he uses his own indicators and I use arbitrage. It's just different trading styles, but it's the same mission. But regardless, let's keep going. So that's the DXY. So it didn't turn out exactly how I expected it to, but we have started seeing the signs of this still happening. So it's probably not going to change. I'm going to talk about on my live. But yeah, I still do want to see price come back and retest this RSI line to see if it'll continue going down in a downtrend. So let's go on to the next one. All right, so Euro USD. With Euro USD, what I had, I like it better this way, I gave myself. With Euro USD, what I had said was I wanted price to drop from 1.13200 and I wanted it to come back down to the RSI line. In fact, sorry, I'll put it on full screen so you can see it better. I don't know why my computer does this. Probably because I have a lot of shit. All right, so yeah, so I wanted price to start from here and drop down down to 1.10497 so that this RSI line can come meet up with it before it goes bullish. because I do still think that Euro USD is in an uptrend. Obviously, you can see it. We have the low right here. We have the low, then we have the high, then we have the lower. Then we have the higher low, and now we have a higher high. So now, just like what I'm saying, I want price to come and make a higher low right here before it creates a higher high, right? Now, going based off of that, clear everything. I'm gonna get off of full screen. All right, so 1.13200 is the entry that I had mentioned to get into for a sell. But what had happened was, and I'll go on the hourly time frame, so that you guys can see what arbitrage what had happened, was that price ended up going bullish, just like how with the DXY, price went bearish a little more. Price had also gone more bullish so 1.13200 over here towards the left. So this is June 8th, right here, boom. So on right here, when price got right here, you see how this is the sell call that I had mentioned. Price came up here, retested, dropped a little bit, but then ended up buying right here off of this candle, and then it kept going higher. But then I had said that, okay, so now right here it looks like a good, perfect opportunity for a sell. We got in at the first sell right here. I got a good, pretty decent entry with my scalping strategy, which I'm gonna make the video right after this video. And then it ended up dropping, retested at this 1.13200 area. That was the re-entry, because that was like my previous entry that I wanted, right? And then price ended up dropping, and so now we still have price is created a lower low. So now it's going to create a higher high. So it could potentially come back up to 1.12884 and then keep dropping and that would be really clean. Or it could still even come up to 1.13200 and then drop. Because the only time that we will say that, okay, this trend has changed is when 1.13200 area gets broken. And what I mean by broken is when a candle actually closes above it. So, yeah. So that's what I had on that. But if we're going to daily time frame, let me get rid of this actually. So when we're on the daily time frame, we've gone like it's starting to break through to the analysis that's wanted. So we're still looking at this as it's not a loser per se, but we got in prematurely because it did end up going to hit our stop loss, but we got out early because obviously with arbitrage, all you need to do is set an alert like, oh, it told me to exit, I'm going to exit, and then boom, you're good. So you don't even have to wait for your stop loss to get hit. It's really fun to find me. So GU, I remember this specifically, and this is something that I really want to see how this plays out, because GU, I had mentioned that I was going to get into the aggressive as sell right here, right? And so I think that price had gone up a little bit to fake us out, and then it started dropping, not like how it dropped right here, but it started dropping like how I wanted it to. And so again, this is a case of, oh, we just got in a little too aggressively. And like I mentioned in the video, and I'll go ahead and like if you go and watch back at it, I did say that this is really aggressive. There's no signs of any reversal or anything like that. So this is a very aggressive sell. And in fact, I'll go ahead and look for that right now and then show it to you guys.
So yeah, I'm getting into this sell, and my stop loss is gonna be 1.27576. And like I said, this is just it's kind of crazy because I'm going just based off of the weekly time frame. Like this is such a small stop loss for a really long swing trade. But I want to see if this is where price is going to stop at before it starts to drop. So again, I'm going to get into this sell. And if my stop loss gets hit, then that's okay. And if we get wicked out and price starts to drop, we can always get back in later. But this is probably it's not calling to sell on anything. It's not calling to sell on the 15-minute time frame. It is at the 2 deviations, the one I see. On the 5-minute time frame, it's not calling for a sell. It's showing that it's overbought, but it's not calling for a sell. And on the 1-minute time frame, it's not calling for a sell either. So I'm just, like I said, if you want to take it, be my guest, because I'm definitely taking this trade.
So you see,
I might even put my stop loss a little higher just because.
So my stop loss was at 1.27576, right? Now let's go and look at the real charts and see what it was. But I like I said, I mentioned it. I'm like, if you want to, you can take it. It's a hella risky. It was a hella risky trade. But let's see what GPUSD did. I'm a risky trader. I'm okay with losing some money so that I can be able to like get a sniper entry and get that potential sniper entry than losing it, right? And so we're going to even see on the weekly time frame how things popped up. Okay, so GU on the weekly time frame. So what we're going to see is that GU did wick up. It did, in fact, come up a little higher, and it wicked up. If price would have closed up here, I wouldn't even be considering a sell. So price did wick up here, but then ended up dropping. So the trade is still set. Like if you're a swing trader or if you're a position trader, you should still be in this sell. Just going based off of the weekly time frame, you should be in this sell because price did end up respecting the RSI line and it started dropping. Because now it's on the hour time frame, and I'll show you exactly what played out on the hourly. So, oops, I did not mean to draw that out. And actually, let me clear everything off. So again, it's just premature entries. So if I'm not mistaken, on here, my entry was at 1.27176. Okay. 1.27176. Okay, I thought I pressed it. There we go. So my entry was 1.27176. Right? And so this was our entry. Look where price literally went to go hit. It came about 100 pips up. Let me make sure. Okay, not 100 pips, 90 pips up. It went like, so our stop loss was above right here. So this was our stop loss right here. Price went a little higher. So if you're looking at a swing trader's perspective, then you literally got wicked out of this trade before it dropped, which just like how Peyton, he's not a good sniper. I have poor what's the word I'm looking for? Stop loss placement sometimes, or I get in a little too early because once that happened, look once it called this sell and retested, like I'd mentioned in the charts, how deep it dropped. It dropped a good 270 pips. So even if you would have taken this loss right here, you would have lost like what? You lost 30 pips and waited for another sell entry, you would have got 270 pips. So you would have been net 240 pips just off of GBP USD. It's on the daily time frame. So based like I said, if you're going based off of a swing trader's perspective, then you literally just went and got wicked out because that's what that candle was. It was just a stop hunt. I should have known because of, and before I did my live, I had did the news and I should have FOMC, right? I should have expected there to be a stop hunt. That's exactly what happened. Then price ended up dropping. So price is still coming down to look for this retest of the RSI line. And so we'll talk more about that when we're on the weekly analysis later today. So let's continue.
Because this is like a long-term trade for me. I'm like this. I'm gonna hold this for a while. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put my stop loss just a little higher.
So when you say how long is the wire?
I'm talking about like possibly like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just depending on how long this move takes. Because again, this is a sell that I'm getting in from on the weekly time frame, and so if I'm going on the
So that's good stuff. That's good stuff on GU because you even hear from here. And this annoys me that happens to me. Cause I did get stopped out, but then I was able to get back in.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All this is 12 weeks worth of GPUSD.
So, yeah. Going to the next pair. All right, USD JPY. Oof. Ooh, this was spicy. USD JP was spicy. So I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna let this speak for itself. This was perfect.
Personally speaking, I don't know exactly when what's going on economically on USD JPY, and that's just not my area of question mark. But yeah, what on the Japanese economy isn't really something that I look at a lot. I'm not worried about USD, but if the Japanese yen is hold on, give me 1 second, guys. No, if the Japanese yen is going to keep on being in a recession, is going to keep on losing strength, I expect to keep on bullish for 1 second.
So on USD JPY, what I had said I wanted on the weekly analysis was that I wanted for price to come down to the RSI line because I was thinking that the RSI line would come up to here and then start to jump back up. So that was something that we were waiting for. We have the entry for the sell at 109.623. That's the entry that we have right here, right? That's the where we got in on the trade, or around that area per se. No, actually the entry is 109.611. That's the entry that we got on USD JPY on the live, right? And so let me just fast forward a little bit just to make sure that's exactly what will happen, because I'm just going back. This is my first time actually. When I do my analysis, I never go back and watch them. I don't know how trash I am for that, but I never watch these after. That's why I need to start doing this.
Upper danger zone.
But And yeah, that's exactly what happened, right? So, and then what I was expecting was for price to come down to 108.256. That got smacked. No drawdown, absolutely nothing. It got literally. So, first of all, let me clear all drawings. There we go. All right, so USD JPY. So USD JPY was beautiful. It was just amazing. Like I said, from right, let me actually remove drawings. Go on the hourly time frame so you guys could check that out. So from right here, where I had mentioned about I wanted to see price drop from where it was at, just based off of the what I was seeing on the daily. So right here, let me just go back and make sure. Get out of here. Okay, 109.611, right? That was the entry that we got. 109.611. Boom, right here. That's our entry. A couple hours later, we got the sell. This was confirmed. Take this all down. And look where it came down to before it started to retrace. It came down right over at 106.625. Now, on the analysis, I had mentioned that I thought it was going to come down to 108.256. So it came even lower than what I was expecting. So that has already happened, and now price is called for the buy right here. Now I still do expect that USD JPY does go higher. So this buy that happened, if you go on the 2-hour time frame, and I had mentioned it, I think on Friday, that I want to see USD JPY buy, and this is off of the 2-hour time frame, and it still looks like it's holding, so that's pretty good. So with USD JPY, the analysis was very much spot on, and it even went lower than expected. But I don't think that it's, like I said on the, I don't think it's going to last long. I still think it's going to go bullish. So we'll see how that goes. So let's go on to the next one.
Okay, so for UCAD, this was something that I had mentioned. I said that I didn't want to look at anything for UCAD. I was waiting to be patient for it to show signs of reversals because it was selling, and it has sold from here at the. If we come over here, we'll see. Damn, that was terrible. If we come from right here, we can see that the 1.400 area where UCAD started to sell from, right? And then so it sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days. And so I wanted to see some type of retracement, but price was still dropping even after showing that it multiple oversold. So we'll go to the charts and I'll explain to you as the days were going what I was saying, because I didn't really have an analysis of UCAD at the day, except for that I wanted to see price go up to the RSI line on the weekly and then drop. But if I'm looking at this, obviously this is what I want to see. And that's what I mentioned even before I went into deep detail with it. I wanted to see price come up to the RSI line before continuing to the downside. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and show you on the charts. Actually, let me rewind a little so that you can see exactly what I was talking about.
Personally, I don't like how it looks on the daily time frame. Weekly, it just hit the mean line on the weekly time frame. Dollar sign showing that it's oversold. I want to wait for another one, and like this is just being risky in
general, because I personally don't think you should ever trade when you see just overbought or oversold, because the price could always drop more, as you can see right here. But if I see the second dollar sign, which might pop up right here on this candle, then you might start looking for buys for a retracement of some sort for UCAD. But like I said, I don't want to personally. I don't like how it looks.
Like I said, I'm seeing that I don't like how it looks. I'd rather want to see some type of patterns or anything pop up on the lower time frames to tell me, okay, price is gonna start to retrace, which it did. So let's go to the charts. And like I said, I mentioned it multiple times multiple times during the week. So it's going to the daily time frame. Okay, so UCAD, like I said, so this was the candle that I wanted the dollar sign to pop up on, but it didn't. It popped up on the very next candle. So that was showing that, okay, price is oversold, that we should start seeing price start to make some type of retracements. Maybe. Doesn't always happen, but it does every once in a while. So we did have this major bullish candle right here, and price ended up not coming here quite yet, but I still want it to come there. And then if the RSI line does enter into this lower danger zone, then I'm going to have to start looking for buys on USD CAD. Let's go on the weekly, and it's officially closed over this RSI line. So just like how I have it on my chart, I think on the 1 hour, I don't know when I drew this. But what price to do was I wanted price to respect right there and drop down here and then go up higher, which it did. I still think it's going to go lower, possibly. I really wanted it to match up with this. That's what I had drawn out during the week. But let's see on the 4 hour what I have. Yeah, I think it was on the 4 hour that I did it. Yeah, it looks more like this. Looks way more like what I have. So price respect right there, drop right here, go higher. Still think it's gonna come down here again, and so that might be our entry to get into the buy, if that's what price wants to do. But again, I'll talk more about that on my analysis when I do it later, because I always like giving the market a couple hours to do stuff, and so I can figure out, okay, if there's gaps or anything like that. So yeah, but I still think that price can potentially still keep dropping. All right, let's continue. So far, so good.
Really dropped from down here. That's crazy.
Who wants some tacos? Does anybody want some tacos? I like me some tacos. Boom. All right, so that's my analysis. I already know what I'll probably be saying during the hourly. We'll go back to that, but let's go to USD Mexican and see what is all drawn out. So I have the same exact setup. I have USD Mexican. It came right up. I didn't touch this chart at all because I knew what was going to happen. I still think this is going to come back up. It might come back up a little bit more, but I knew what was going to happen. Price came right up. The RSI line didn't drop to exactly where I wanted it to. I would have wanted the RSI line to drop even more. But based off of my drawing, it literally just started to drop, and now price is down here. That's pretty fuego. I'm not even gonna lie. But I do want price to respect right here and actually go touch this RSI line before dropping. But I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, that was easy money. On the hourly, I'll show you exactly what happened on the hourly time frame so that you could be able to identify it better. So from when I had drawn this out, price was over, like it was zero drawdown. You could have gone in right there, but that's risky. what you would have wanted was this buy right here. So price went bought, retest of this RSI line. It retested the this line right here instead. And me personally, I wouldn't have probably even started looking on the 1 hour. I would have looked on the 2 hour instead, because it would look better. And there you go. So you have the break, the retest of this RSI line, and then buying it and following off of the daily. This could have been your entry. And that's what I talk about, looking for your entries on the smaller time frames, because this could have been your entry right there for the buy that you're looking for USD Mexican for the retracement. And so now with the sell entry that you're looking for it to go make a lower low, if you go to the 1 hour time frame now, this is your sell that you're probably looking for. That's already happened, but I want price to, I don't think it will, but I want price to come up and then drop. So, but I'll talk more about that later on. We'll go on to the next one. Okay, so AUDJPY was not on my list. It was just somebody who had talked about it, and they said, oh, can I do my analysis on it, right? And this hit perfectly. This was another trade that I was happy that I did. And shout out to my man B, because he's the one that showed me this trade. I appreciate you. Well, he didn't show me, but he put my attention towards it, and then that's why I'm like, oh, this is a solid trade right here. But anyways, so
I mean, if you lose, then hey, it is what it is. You don't lose that much, but the risk reward is amazing. I like that trade. So that looks. I would take that trade. Let me see if there's a time frame. It's overbought right now. I mean, hey, if you lose, then hey, you go on and trade another thing. You don't have to be attached to your loss. That's a good trade, man. I'll stay in that. Thanks, bro. All right, no problem.
So,
and yeah, like if you guys want to get in that as well, that doesn't look too terrible. As long as price really chills right here at this upward interest, at this 2 deviation right here, it could really drop like on the 5-minute time frame. See what it's looking like. Like there's no really confirmation showing that it's gonna sell right here. But you can see that these are starting to point down right here on the arbitrage feed. And then you can also see that it's still over ground zero, so it's not really a safe sell. But on the 1 minute, it's definitely telling you, yeah, you want to get in and sell. So, like I said, if you guys want to get in that's not a bad trade at all.
all right. So I had said, wait, let's even watch even further, because I remember that.
All right, so that is AUDJPY. I am definitely going to play slow.
So the entry that I had was 76.657 on AUDJPY, right? 76.657, and I got that based off of the 4 hour and the 1 hour, and I looked at the daily time frame to see what the trend was, right? And so let's go on to AUDJPY. This was a beautiful trade as well. Ooh, this might be a good buy. I'll take a look at that later on. But anyways, so going to 4 hour. This was beautiful, man. This was beautiful as hell. Like, this played out to perfection. I mentioned right here. Wait, hold on. So the entry was 76.657. This was the entry for the sell. How many pips did this drop? Because this was perfect. You dropped the drop. You got the break of the RSI line. I said when the retest happens, you could sell it again for a re-entry. By that time, you could have already snapped 100 pips. And then when price drops, and I said that price was going to drop all the way down here, it didn't, and came to the RSI. I mean, to the lower danger zone. And knowing me, I would have said that, oh, when price gets to the lower danger zone, which price happened to climb up a little higher, that you would want to take your profits. That's 412 pips from the original entry. And from what I had mentioned during the week, when you get this entry right here, that could have been your 292 pips. Arbitrage doesn't lose. This is the closest thing to the holy grail that I've ever seen. And I'll say it over and over and over again. No one can show me anything better than arbitrage. I promise you that. But anyways, that was a beautiful trade. That was just like, mwah, shout out, like perfection. All right, so let's go on to the next one. All right, so again, I wanted to take price up to 1.86162, and my entry looks like
getting that entry on the 1 hour. So
it is 1.81480. That's my entry, 1.81480 on GBP AUD. I like this trade still. This is arbitrage, bro. No one can tell me arbitrage isn't the greatest. Nobody. Because what did I say? What I wanted to see. I literally, what I said would happen. What I wanted to happen would happen. So, price we had bought at 1.81489, right? So 1.81489. Boom. Right here. Oops, wrong tool that I used. So the entry that I had mentioned that I wanted was 1.81489. Realistically speaking, we never got any drawdown from this trade. Right? So price broke through, retested the RSI, broke through the RSI line that I wanted, retested it, then went beautifully and hit my TP. So that, again, guys, like holy grail. Let's go on to the next one. Because all I see is minor losses and major gains so far. Like,
I want it like
there, and it's funny because there's some, but never mind. I won't even say it. All right, so I wanted to see 1725 and then drop down. So let's see what gold did. I have no idea what gold did. I didn't trade it. I don't trade gold like that. Yeah, can't type. So price ended up even freaking breaking through. And I did mention that I think that gold is going to make a higher high. So it ended up not even respecting. Let's go on the daily time frame. You see it? So you see it called for the exit right here, like on this candle, like on Thursday. It called, okay, get out the sell, because this is the sell right here when price was at the RSI line to get in for the drop. But it's still at the upper danger zone. So talk about more of that on the analysis. But But gold, as I mentioned, I didn't say that I did. I thought that it was gonna drop. All right, so with gold, I did think that price was going to drop. Never mind. I think it was my previous video, not this video. It was my previous video that I thought that gold was going to make a higher high. I still do kind of think that, especially since it's still in this general area right here. But so, yeah, I think that gold is definitely still has the potential to drop, but we did get the exit. So, I mean, if you have arbitrage, obviously you would have been out of the trade, especially on the daily time frame. But yeah, so, and I'll go ahead and talk more about gold on the chart, show you exactly what happened. So, I think it's about right here. Yes, no, let me see. I'm on the daily, I'm tripping. So we'll talk more about what happened. So right here, I wanted the retest. Price came. It did respect here. So you would have gone in at this sell, but then price broke through that. And then the next candle was the exit. So you would already be out of this trade. Our stop loss barely just got hit. It looks like the price stop loss did just get wicked. But then again, like I said, I wasn't getting in this trade regardless. 4-hour time frame though, you would see that if you were to even try to get into this, that price was calling for a buy. So already with that, you'd be like, well, it's calling for the buy, so I'm not going to get into the sell because that's just go over contradicting things. And that's why I say that technical analysis has, like, you can't get that stuff from technical analysis because you would have gone with the same concept. You would have been, oh, I got the retest, I'll go ahead and sell. Rather than if you had a 4-hour arbitrage, you'd be like, no, I'm not going to sell because price called for the buy. And why am I going to go against arbitrage? 1-hour time frame, you'd be like, same thing. You would have, like right here, boom. You would have got into the buy from this right here. That would have been, and this is the retest, so that would have been your entry for the buy. Boom, price goes up. It even went higher than another buy, and then it's still calling for a buy on the hourly. So that's why I'm like, holy grail stuff. So that's just gold. Let's go on to the next one. So with E8, what we have here is that I had said that I want price to go up to the RSI line in the drop. So that would be, where is my annotation? I want to see price come right at the 1.6500 area. I know that's a terrible line, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not an artist. But anyways, so yeah, let's go see what is good on the chart. So Euro AUD, if I got to, boom. If I got to. So Euro AUD. I'm glad we got this trade. I was able to get us an entry on this. So EA, I didn't really talk much on it. I just said that I wanted that on that day, and then throughout the week, I was like, okay, we got the break of the RSI line, and then I wanted the retest. It price dropped down a little more, but it never gave us the exit, and then we were able to still profit off of that trade very beautifully. Clear everything. And so price was so close. Actually, from the looks of this right here, you can actually see that price did come at if obviously it came to the 1.6500 area, right? But that's exactly where the RSI line is at. Boom. This is where price came and respected. So the analysis was correct, and it was beautiful to the T. Again, arbitrage is the GOAT. Holy grail. Let's go on to the next one. I think the last one I did was Dow Jones, and the Dow Jones, that one was spicy.
Same here. I have UJ.
Okay, so with SPX 500, and obviously this correlates with NOS 100 and what's the other pair? US 30. Sorry, I almost forgot. But what I wanted on those pairs was I wanted for price to get to break and retest the 15-minute RSI line before dropping. And so I'll go ahead and so 3203. I'll go ahead and explain exactly what happened. But this was an intraday trade. You would have taken an L on this specific trade, but not through the whole thing, because I was speaking more on SPX 500 and all that stuff as it was going. All right. This was intense as hell. So all right, so the sell was from here on 3202. Oh, okay, so right here was the break. We never got the break. So we never even got the break for that trade in particular, but I was going through and saying that I wanted SPX 500 to still sell. This sell right here is what came all the way down. I'll just go ahead and even talk about it on the hourly time frame, because we didn't even get the opportunity to get into this trade on the 15-minute. But on the hourly had faked us out before with this right here. I wanted to get into the sell right here, but it never did. It went up to buy, so I'm like, okay, I'm getting out the trade. It sold right here, and then it just tanked. And so then price came back up to retest the RSI line. It dropped again, but I still am not convinced that it's ready to sell yet, but I'll talk more about that later on. So with SPX, we didn't even get into the trade, but that's the review for what I did, guys. And from the looks of it, man, arbitrage saves you a lot of headache, a lot of checking back and forth in the trades and all that, which is stuff that I've been saying since forever since I've known this. So guys, I just want to say that if you're struggling with your trading, or even if you're not struggling with your trading, if you are struggling with your trading, because if you're not struggling with your trading, then you should stick to what you're doing. But if you're struggling with your trading and you're looking for something new, arbitrage is the way to go, because it's just, let me tell you what comes with arbitrage. You get the indicators on your trading view sent to you as soon as you get it. There's the Slack community there's the arbitrage community where you have all traders, all of the instructors like myself who, like, they're looking for trades, and they're like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I see happening and stuff like that. You have tons of new things that come every 2 months. There's something new that just makes arbitrage even better than what it was before. And like, you guys, you could set up alerts that could tell you when to get in, when to get out, when you're looking for certain parameters, all that stuff. You also have the website where you could, and you guys see this when I do my Tuesday reviews, that you have the website where you could filter out the trades, and you could figure out what trades are already getting ready, so you don't have to be stuck looking from one pair to another. Like, it's revolutionary. This is going to change the world. And hey, if you're doing, like I said, if you're doing good with your trading, then don't change anything. But if you're not and you're looking for a change, then I highly suggest that you do take arbitrage into consideration, because, like I said, this is going to change the world. This is really going to change the world, like, big time, and it's crazy. So, but anyways, guys, so it's your boy AB. I'm going to go ahead and edit this out. If you are looking to enroll into arbitrage or anything like that, you could message me at Facebook, on Instagram, on Telegram, on Snapchat. I'll go ahead and drop the specifics right here. But yeah, yeah, guys, that's about it. Like I said, like, arbitrage, like, you guys see it for yourselves. This is the gold indicator, because it tells you once you get in, once you get out, take your profits here. Simple as that. Arbitrage lets you have the freedom that you want. So anyways, you hope you guys had some good value from this and all that stuff. And hey, let's keep getting this money. I'll go ahead and do my analysis later today.